Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video we tell the story of the Blue Boy of Chillingham Castle. Who is he? For over 800 years Chillingham Castle has stood like a stone sentinel on the Northumberland border. A fortress shaped by war, blood, whispers and something else, something colder. A place where history refuses to stay silent. A place where the dead are said to walk beside the living. Tonight we step into the shadows of Britain's most notorious stronghold and confront the ghost who screams at midnight. This is the tale of the Blue Boy of Chillingham Castle. Chillingham Castle began life in the 12th century as a monastery, but peace didn't last long. Its position on the volatile English-Scottish border meant it quickly became a military fortress, bulwark in centuries of raids and war. Through the Middle Ages, it hosted kings, knights, prisoners and spies. King Edward I stayed here while hunting William Wallace. Armies marched through its gates. Bodies were carried out through them. The castle's iron dungeon still contains torture devices used during the border wars. The rack, the cage, the spiked chair, and deep inside the walls is a chilling relic, the soundproof inner chamber, where prisoners were left in total darkness. Few emerged alive. Through the 17th and 18th centuries, the castle shifted from fortress to noble residence. But even then, it never shed its darker reputation. Guests reported footsteps in empty corridors, cold spots near sealed rooms, and lights flickering in rooms without candles. Chillingham was restored in the 20th century, but many believe its ghosts woke up with it. Among them, one stands out. The Blue Boy, sometimes called the Radiant Boy, is the most famous of Chillingham's spirits, for there are many spirits residing at Chillingham Castle. For centuries his identity has remained unknown, but his presence is unmistakable. Witnesses describe him as a young boy, glowing with a faint blue light, drifting at the edge of the pink room, his face distressed, his hands reaching out. Sometimes he appears near the bed, sometimes above it, always accompanied by a sudden unnatural drop in temperature. But the most terrifying part wasn't the apparition, it was the scream. Guests reported hearing the cry of a child echoing through the walls, always around the stroke of midnight, a desperate, drawn-out wail, followed by silence. For generations people believed the boy was a myth, a superstition born from old stone and older fears. But then the renovation happened. During structural work in the Pink Room in the early 20th century, workers opened a concealed chamber within one of the castle walls. What they found changed everything. Inside they discovered the skeleton of a young boy, still wearing remnants of blue fabric, a coat or tunic that had once been brightly coloured. The bones showed no obvious violent trauma, but the boy had been placed or trapped within the wall. Some believe he was hidden there deliberately, others think he was imprisoned, perhaps even walled up alive, who knows. The screams, the lights, the cold spots, all matched the old reports long before the bones were found. After the remains were removed and buried, the midnight screams reportedly stopped, but the Blue Boy didn't vanish entirely. Today, visitors still see a faint blue shimmer, a shape shifting in the corner of their eye, a handprint appearing on the Pink Room's bedspread. The witness reports. Hundreds of visitors, staff and paranormal investigators have reported phenomena connected to the blue boy, such as sudden icy air around the pink room window, orbs glowing blue on camera, electrical devices draining instantly, the feeling of the small hand brushing their fingers, blue light pulsing behind the bed canopy, a shadow the size of a child appearing then vanishing. Even skeptical guests have left the castle shaken. One visitor described waking to see a dim blue figure hovering near the bed. Another claimed his duvet was tugged from his hands. A staff member heard soft sobbing from a locked room, only to find it empty. The pattern is always the same: cold sadness and blue light. Historians and paranormal researchers offer several theories about who the boy was and why he haunts Chillingham. A noble child murdered during border conflicts. He may have been hidden or silenced to protect political secrets. A prisoner's child. The border wars saw entire families taken captive. Some never left the dungeon alive. Or a servant boy who knew too much. Rumours suggest he overheard a plot and was sealed away. Or maybe a child who died accidentally and was hidden to avoid scandal. Noble households often concealed the tragedies. No records ever identified him. No name, no birth, no death, just the bones and the screams. The Blue Boy isn't just a ghost story. He's a reminder of the castle's layered, brutal history. A child lost in the machinery of power, fear and conflict. But he also represents something else: unfinished business. Ghosts fade when their stories are told, but this Blue Boy's story is still incomplete. And as long as the pink room stands, people will continue to feel his presence, searching for someone to hear him. Chillingham Castle has endured 8 centuries of war, suffering and mystery. Its walls have seen kings, soldiers, prisoners, and one boy who never left. So whether you believe the Blue Boy is a restless spirit or a memory that refuses to die, one thing is certain: some places are built not only of stone but of secrets. And in the corridors of Chillingham Castle, those secrets still whisper. So if you find yourself at Chillingham Castle, listen out. You may hear the Blue Boy ghost. And that brings us to the end of this story. Until the next time and the next story. So if you like this story, then please subscribe to us and check out our other videos. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Goodbye.